If you work in the corporate world and sometimes you feel jealous about the progress of some of your colleagues in terms of promotion or possibly furthering their education to occupy higher office, and you feel that care is not taken, it can affect or mar your relationship with your working colleagues, then this is a good video to watch. But before we come back, I would like you to listen to a message from one of my clients concerning jealousy. And after that, we'll perform a mind surgery. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Dear Dale Quest, I am writing to you today because I am feeling lost and overwhelmed. My job at the corporate office is a place I have always considered home, but lately, I have been struggling to keep up with my colleagues. It's not that I don't work hard or that I am not good at my job. In fact, I believe that I am just as qualified, if not more so, than some of the people who have been promoted. But for some reason, it seems like I just can't catch a break. To make matters worse, my crush, who I have fallen in love with at work, has also been promoted. I was overjoyed when I found out about her promotion, but at the same time, I felt a twinge of jealousy in my heart. I know that I shouldn't be feeling this way, but I just can't help it. As the days go by, my frustration and jealousy have only grown. I find myself constantly comparing myself to my colleagues, wondering what they have that I don't. And seeing my crush move up the corporate ladder only adds fuel to the fire. I have tried to stay positive and keep my head down, but it feels like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I know that my emotions are not healthy and that they are affecting my work. I don't want my jealousy to impact my relationships with my colleagues or my crush. I am afraid that if I don't do something soon, I will end up pushing everyone away. That's why I am reaching out to you, Mindsurgeon. I believe that talking to a professional like yourself could help me understand why I am feeling this way and what I can do to overcome these feelings. I am ready to do the work and make the necessary changes to become a happier, more fulfilled person both at work and in my personal life. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Mark.
Welcome back. My name is Dale Quest, your mind surgeon. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share with your family and friends so I can reach a wider audience and help me grow this channel so that you can be part of my success story. So we're dealing with a message from one of our clients, Mark, concerning jealousy with respect to his corporate work. Reading what Mark sent to me on Telegram, after pondering over it, I asked permission to convert that into a content so that if you find yourself in that same situation, you can take a cue from this and help you navigate through it well so that you don't lose certain relationships whilst you climb the corporate ladder. So first of all, let us deal with why people get jealous. So jealousy is actually a function of an emotion, which is a function of your soul, which forms part of your members as a human being. Okay, so we have a human being as a soul that lives in the body through the spirit. Okay, and so you're jealous, and it comes naturally when you want to be in the position someone else is, and you feel that you should be the one to occupy that, or you feel and wish to have what someone else possesses. Okay, now let me quickly draw a distinction between being jealous and envy. Envy is actually a deep, painful feeling of wanting to have that which is not yours by hook or crook, or wanting to be in the position of someone else, and so it's more of a mismanaged jealousy. So when you don't manage jealousy well, it leads you to the next phase called envy, where it becomes destructive and disruptive. Okay, and so you actually want to have that which someone else possesses, or want to be in the position of someone by hook or crook because you feel that you deserve it. Okay, and it's more born out of a selfish fabric of mentality. Okay, so one of the reasons why someone would be jealous is when the person have a low understanding or even no understanding of their self-image. When you lack an understanding of your self-image, it leads to what you call low self-esteem. Okay? Every human being has an image. In fact, for those of you religious or possibly in the Christian circles would agree with me that one of the first things that God created and gave to man was not the garden, but actually the image of himself. And so we are the image of God. And so anything that doesn't have an image embossed on it actually lacks identity. Okay? The image of a car is the crown that is embossed on it, what you might call the logo of the factory that produces that car. And so if you have a car, I use a Ford car. I love Fords. I cannot see myself driving a Ford car without the crown on it. It actually defaces the car. Even though you might know that it's a Ford, it takes away something from the car. It's the same thing. When you walk without an understanding of who you are in terms of your image, in terms of your brand, you are just like a car without a crown. And once you lack the understanding, you begin to exhibit the attributes of low self-esteem. So you see yourself lower than other people. And once that happens, you begin to feel jealous of people who are thriving or doing well than yourself. Another reason why someone would exhibit the character of envy or jealousy is when the person is not capable of doing something. In other words, when the person doesn't have capacity. So, in the corporate setting, you can only be jealous of your colleague when you know that you're not capable of doing what the person is doing. Yes. When you think that you are not in the best form of capacity to execute the task the person is executing. And so once that happens, you have no other thing to do than to feel jealous of the person, because you are weighing what you could do and what the person can do. But let me say this, sometimes you can also be jealous when you know that the person that has been appointed for a certain task or a job, its capacity doesn't match up to yours. And that could be the truth. So you feel jealous, but the truth is the person has been placed there because of certain qualities the person possesses you have not taken time to analyze. Okay? So we'll come to that when I'm dealing with the solutions of dealing with envy or jealousy, right? And so once you ascertain the fact that the person has more capacity than you, or you might have more capacity than the person, you tend to feel jealous about the person or what the person is having. Okay? So in a corporate setting, it happens, especially when someone goes to have an extended short course of an education to boost a CV and comes back and is promoted to the next stage of the office, and you go like, okay, I'm jealous. Yeah, and it's accepting the fact that you're jealous. Okay. The next thing that could make someone jealous of, or could make you jealous of someone else, could make someone jealous of you, is when the person is coming from a place of selfishness. Sometimes when we are always thinking about ourselves first, when we don't consider the other person we're jealous of and why the person deserves what the person is possessing, or why the person has been promoted. So sometimes we all get selfish because we're thinking about ourselves first, and there's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is how you then again manage it. Okay? And so once you are coming from the place of selfishness, not thinking whether the person deserves it or whether the person has the capacity or abilities to occupy that office or to possess that which the person possesses, then you tend to feel jealous about that person. So let's zoom right into the solutions. How do you manage it as a corporate guy? Now, if you listened carefully to the audio, Mark was talking about the fact that he's jealous even about his crush at work. Okay, so let me first address this. And I told Mark when we were telegramming each other. First, the person is not your wife, nor your girlfriend, okay? You just have a crush on that person. And I asked Mark, and he actually confirmed that he's not told the girl his intention. She's just a crush, okay? So once the person is a crush, then you don't expend much energy, because you have not even gotten to the level where you feel a certain sense of belonging, where you have the right to even be jealous of the person because he's your crush. I feel that is a bit problematic. So we dealt with that backstage, right? So the first thing to manage jealousy in the corporate setting, right, is first to understand that it's normal to be jealous. Understanding that it's normal to be jealous is the first step, it's the first key, okay? Being jealous is natural, it's normal. In fact, it's with the right of jealousy that helps us to be protective of that which we have. Jealousy is also another form of communication, to communicate that you have a certain sense of affection for something. Okay. The only problem comes when it's mismanaged, or when it's not controlled and it goes out of boundaries, right? And so it's okay to be jealous. The only problem is when it begins to affect the people around you, your associations, your relationships, and all of that. So one is to understand that it's a natural thing of an emotion to be jealous. The second thing to deal with the problem of being jealous at your corporate workplace or any other place you find yourself, even in families and relationships, is to appreciate the person that you're jealous of. Take time, sit down and analyze that does the person deserve what the person owns or possesses, or where the person has been promoted to. Oftentimes, we are inconsiderate about some of these things. We think that it should always be about us, but sometimes, right, the person deserves what the person owns. If your colleague has bought a new car, he deserves to buy a new car. Irrespective of how he got the car or she got the car, it's none of a problem. The person needs the car. The only problem is when it becomes competitive, then it becomes quite unhealthy, especially at the corporate place, okay? And I know there's a lot of unhealthy competitions passively in the corporate place. So that the person is traveling here, so that the person has acquired a new house, and it becomes very competitive. Very unhealthy to engage yourself in such things, because it breeds jealousy and it upgrades it into envy, and anything can happen. It leads to backstabbing, backbiting, and all sorts of things, you know. So once you think that does a person deserve it, and you tell yourself the person deserves to enjoy all the comfort, or also deserves to be there, then you are beginning to deal with that form of jealousy, so you keep your relationship. The third thing I would share with you, okay, and let me share a story that happened in 2016. One of my gifts is I have the prowess of speaking. When I hold the microphone and I'm speaking to a crowd, you would admire me. Let me boast, okay? I know I have that gift. So the truth is that in 2016, I was invited to be a keynote speaker in the program. And one of the speakers I was supposed to speak with was contacted, and he was told that I was going to be on the bill, and he declined. I'm closing my eyes to say this because it's vivid in my imagination, right? And he declined. So I asked the organizers to give me the number of this guy, and I decided to speak to him. He's one fine gentleman. I believe in his gift and talent, and I admire him so much. So I called him and I told him that, hey, this is what I heard, and I'm not disappointed. I know he resigned because he respects my office and gift also, and I feel he felt that he doesn't want to be compared after the whole program that I spoke well than him. And I see that as a sign of respect. Possibly he analyzed things and decided to not to take up that job, okay, not to take up that slot. So I told him that this is what I'm going to do, and I told the organizers I'm going to step down. I'm not going to be the keynote speaker. I'm going to give it to him so that he speaks. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to sit under his feet. I'll be present. I'll sit there and watch him deliver, which I did. And trust me, This guy delivered succinctly, like he did well. Okay? And I learned a lot about it. One of the things I learned was I was the type who always do my speaking engagements without monetizing it. I didn't get anything from it. I love to speak. But I took something from him. He showed me how to monetize my gift and talents. And that thing would always stay with me. So I told him that, hey, you did well. I learned a lot. And we became good friends, right? I'm sharing this to make a point. One of the things you can do to solve the problem of jealousy is to be part of the person's team. And for corporate people, the reason why I'm saying this is, instead of being jealous of the person, offer to be part of the person's team and offer to help the person deliver his function, especially when the person has been promoted, right? What you don't know is that that person you're jealous of will not always be able or be in the capacity to administer a certain role or function. There'll be times you might be incapacitated to perform that role, or possibly might get sick. Anything can happen. And once you're part of the team and learning the trade and the tricks, he can always put a word in for you that I can't make it to office this day, but I recommend Robert, I recommend Susan, I recommend Cynthia to step in for me, or I'm traveling, or I'm having this emergency, but I recommend so and so to step in for me because you can do the job. That recommendation can be the stepping stone for you to occupy that new office. I believe there's wisdom in what I just shared with you. And that is why I'm saying that instead of being jealous of them, offer to be part of them, offer to help them, offer to be part of the team. When you hear that somebody has been promoted, somebody has earned some form of honor, be happy for them genuinely. Because once you do that, you can always be recommended the next time that vacant position comes up. And the last thing I'd like to share with you in dealing with jealousy, okay, is know your place. Yes, this is very important to me. We are all unique people. Now I'm talking about uniqueness. We are all unique people. We all can't be the same. Know where you're coming from, know your place, know what you can do and what you cannot do. Once you have a clear understanding of your uniqueness, knowing your place, when the emotion of jealousy comes up, it naturally puts you into check, so that it helps you deal with it. So instead of being jealous about someone else's progress, know your place and accept it. Focus on working on yourself, learning from the person and how the person got there to boost yourself up. It's very important. So this is where I end with you on this session about jealousy. I believe that you've taken one or two things and lessons from this. I'm Del Quest, your mind surgeon, and I recommend that and humbly appeal that you share this channel, you subscribe, you like, comment with other people so I can reach a wider audience and help me grow this channel. We'll come again your way on this same channel with another topic from our clients as and when they come. And if you have anything you want me to treat on with respect to your mind, your mindset, psychology, relationships, work, business, anything that has to do with your mind, you can send it to the Telegram channel. I'll share in the description below and I'll do justice to it. I'll attend to you and I'll be glad to do that. I remain Del Quest, your mind surgeon, and I humbly want to bow out. Take care of yourself and have a great day.